This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. All right. I got him back on this week. G Bush back in the building. Got the Christmas merch on. Got the barbershop polo hat on. I don't know if you could officially call it, but we all know this polo hat.
Hey, everybody knows off top when them it is a polo hat. And them polo hats be costing you like $65 now. I'm like, bro, it's just the smallest horse in the world. I can't do that.
I don't think the kids will ever understand how cool we thought a polo hat was with the little flap out, like with the little flap. And then you had a polo and then in your Levi's, you know what I mean? Like it was with your basketball shorts showing too. Like, you know what I mean? That was the look with the nice little watch, a G-Shock on. Look, this is the most 2010s Cleveland fit. Yes.
When that hang time came to the side with that little cloth, you'd be like, man, look, I got my Jordan. And by the way, man, I'm starting to feel like why was we wearing basketball shorts up under everything? Like people was wearing jeans and basketball shorts.
I feel like it was to help complete the look, like the color patterns, right? Because you didn't want your draws out, but you know, a pair of basketball shorts is more tasteful, right? Like it's like if you want to wear a crop top, but you ain't got crop top body. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to figure out a way to make that work. That's what the basketball shorts were for.
Yeah.
You know?
My mom used to be like, man, there's so many eras, man. Like, I remember back in the day, man, I got this FUBU jersey. And when you got regular FUBU, it was there was swap meet FUBU, right? And it would just be like, you could tell. But when you got that Macy's FUBU, that sewn on joint, boy.
Oh yeah, with the gradient that looked like the Falcon jerseys.
My goodness. Listen, it was crazy. And then by the time I left, remember they had the platinum FUBU? Platinum FUBU had all of the Junkyard Gang for Fat Albert. It was just like they just had characters on them. I'm like, man, they getting out of pocket with this FUBU, bro.
Look, every time we do the first 5 minutes of this show, I'm like, there is a demographic of people who can't stand that we don't get right into the topic. And there are another demographic of people who are like, hey, man, this is what I'm here for. It's the FUBU conversation.
They kind of come here for all Browns. I needed to come talk about Fat Farm and Platinum FUBU. And when the Sean John, dang, Sean John. Dang, man.
Yeah. Let's just not even broach that one. But I was talking about this with somebody else because sometimes you look at it, you're like, man, these other shows get these guests and everything. But I'm like, I don't think people come here for the guest. Well, they come here for some guests, but it's like I realize that people like it when I bring on people that I personally mess with versus the big names that I don't have that kind of chemistry with. I think people come here for a certain comfort and dynamic of conversation that I'm able to have with the people. And I think that that's what kind of you just got to figure out what sets yourself apart. And speaking of figuring out what sets yourself apart, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns this year, figuring out what sets them apart as an organization. And G, I know you done been on both sides of this whole Kevin war. I know you done been on that roller coaster ride. Yeah. You know what I mean? You done been fired, Kevin.
Been on the front line. You done been he ain't flag out.
Yep. But now you looking around and you like, you know what? This gonna be here for about 10 years, dog.
Look, I told my people, listen, I had the behind the scenes meeting. I said, listen, Kool-Aid Mafia, here's how this is gonna work. Listen. We not gonna be talking about down to down run versus pass mix. We just can't do it no more, bro. I said, look, they got the numbers now. Right now, my man Kev, when the whole offensive line went out, and it was just your man Wyatt Teller looking around like he was the last dude, and he got left behind in the second grade, and all his other boys went ahead to the third grade. He was out there with these linemen, and
he look like Will Smith at the end of Fresh Prince right now, just looking around that empty ass house. Like, where's Nick Chubb? Like
empty crib.
Nobody is there.
I was like, when you see you be wanting to be like, is this what growing up is all about? You just people just leave and go to another place. They didn't even listen. When Uncle Phil and them rolled out, I was like, dang, bro. When G rolled out, I said, bro, even the the help done left you for Will. You might want to get you another show. But I tell you what, they looked around, and the Cleveland Browns, for me, they realized what their identity was. Their identity was, it's by any means necessary. It ain't about like, if running gonna do it, run the ball. If trick plays gonna do it,
the Browns
trick plays.
You know what the Browns' identity is? Their identity is 90-5. That's the identity of the football team.
I thought I was gonna have to pause. You was like, you know what the identity is? It's that D. What? What?
No, it is Mr. 95 right there. It is Myles Garrett. That is the identity of the football team. Look, when I talk to anybody else about the Cleveland Browns, they ask me, "Hey man, so Myles Garrett, that's crazy, right?" I'm like, yes, it is. Like that is who this team is synonymous with. I did a video and I don't think people understood what I was saying, because people thought I was saying he was better than Ray Lewis. But what I am saying when I'm saying Myles Garrett is the Browns' Ray Lewis is that he is the franchise similar to Ray Lewis, where it's like, hey, when you think of the Cleveland Browns, you're like, Myles Garrett.
Listen, it's not blasphemous to say that Myles Garrett has the same level of talent as Ray Lewis. That's not. Myles Garrett is a generational.
Well, I mean, naturally, he is a much more talented player than Ray Lewis ever. What Ray Lewis wasn't like blessed with all the talent. He was just an insane person and like super smart about football.
He was just like
he was always undersized. People forget this.
He
6 foot.
He wasn't crazy fast. He wasn't like the but he was just. Ray Lewis was one of them dudes that if you come to the game and you had anybody that had any sort of lack, any sort of didn't watch no film, or was not ready to play, or was just soft, or was scared, he had this Thanos thing where he just had he had the Heartstone or something. He was just like, yeah, I'm heart checking everybody. And if I touch you out here, you going to fumble, and I'm going to embarrass you, and you're not getting no points. And it was just people would crumble.
Ray Lewis is like, what if Kevin Garnett was undersized and played football?
Just
like, what if Kevin Garnett had more reason to be intense is what Ray Lewis is, right? It was just this ultimate intensity, this legendary intensity, but it was never really about, oh man, look how fast Ray Lewis is. Look how athletic Ray Lewis is. All of those things were there enough to make him a special player. But what made Ray special was, one, the intensity, and two, the level of skill he could play with that intensity. So I don't think anybody's going to argue that Myles is a more talented player than Ray, but as far as accomplished, like, I don't think that he's there yet. I think he's entering that realm of where he could start to be talked about there. But G, you've watched a lot of football. Have you ever seen teams be more afraid of one edge rusher?
No,
as they are Myles Garrett.
That's why he's the defensive player of the year. Like, I need to catch to stop talk. Kevin Stefanski said something. I thought it was super dope. He was like, look, y'all get enamored way too much with these sack numbers, but let me just let you know. Like, I watched the dude, I be out here and I be pinching myself like, this is unreal. Myles Garrett, literally, first and foremost, he gets held every play. He gets held every single play. Second of all, he has the most double teams according to PFF, and it's not even close with the second guy. Third, 32%. He receives all attention. He gets fullbacks, he gets tight ends, he gets the slide protection. They're locking him up over there. And guess what? He's doing all of that, and he still gets the most pressures. He still gets there in like 1.4 seconds. And he got one shoulder. Come on now. He flipped his car and didn't die. Not only did he not die,
That's a crazy way to say
arm.
that.
Like
Played the
that man
football
is
game a week later.
this dude is an anomaly. This dude, listen, do you know if I was in that accident, Q, I wouldn't even be able to do sports talk. They'd be like,
No,
half of my body would be paralyzed.
The underrated part about what's insane about that is that he flipped that car, played a week later, and didn't get hurt again. Like, that's the thing. The didn't get hurt again is insane, because you would think you would knock something loose, you miss a game or two. Nah, man. Didn't get hurt again. He put some tape on it and was just, all right. Had a 2-sack game a week after that.
He still got that tape on. Like, I don't know if he sleeps in it or, like, this dude, he be doing, and like, this is
he got that tape on like a battle scar. Like, it looked cool, so I'm going to keep it here. Like,
I think it's a tattoo. Like, he might have got that tatted. He got that. That's
nah. Then look, that tape is on there because it looks cool. Like, he's like, yeah, this is my skull. Remember when I did that? Like, he is just a terrifying presence out there. And gee, these aren't normal double teams that they're giving Miles. Like, this ain't like a little touch. Like, okay, we gonna chip you. No, man, these are serious. Like, he's going through multiple pass sets. Like they are double setting him at times where there is somebody behind whoever is blocking Myles Garrett, basically mirroring that tackle and say, hey, he beat him, I'm gonna slide and I'm gonna do a full set on him. That is nuts. He has to engage, disengage, and then swim somebody to get a sack. He still got 13 of them.
This is the greatest hits. Like, Myles Garrett it's starting to get to the point where it's like Battletoads or Ninja Turtles the arcade, where the beat 'em up games, Double Dragon, right? You're going through these lists of these little cities or the swamp, or you're going through the city and you're playing a 2-man beat 'em up game, and all of a sudden first it's the henchmen. You ain't worried about them. But by the time you get to the middle boards, it's like some putties from Power Ranger, it's the henchmen, some foot soldiers, some random bugs, and you like, dude, how many of these dudes I gotta beat up to get to the main boss? They're like, listen, we just gonna keep throwing stuff at you. That's how it is with Myles Garrett right now. He just running around. And every different scene, every different city he's in, they throw more stuff at him, and he still continues to get home. It's amazing.
Here's what's impressive, and I have to use an analogy that just takes us away from defensive end for people to understand what's going on here. It's one thing when Randy Moss is at Marshall and guys are triple teaming him, right? Because we are worried about all this team other than Randy Moss, right? Like, you might got Chad Pennant or something like that. We ain't worried, dog. We not worried. We worried about Randy. This is like, what if Randy Moss were on Alabama or LSU in 2019 and teams were still like, we're triple teaming Randy. You can have whatever you want with Justin. You can have whatever you want with all. Look, we know they good. We can't beat him. Can't be him. And that's what the Browns have such a great defense. They have such a great defensive roster, and teams still ain't willing to let off that 3-man on him because they're just like, you know what? Look, Dalvin could get 2 sacks, but they ain't nothing like Miles is 2, because Miles might get 2 sacks, get 2 strip sacks, and return 1 for a touchdown, and then let him get hot. He gonna start blocking punts and shit. Like, nah, man. Like, they are so terrified of Miles. Like, I don't think we'll ever see a team do what Indianapolis did, which was just have the hubris to be like, nah, man, we running our offense. Miles gonna have to deal with it. We gonna go 1-on-1, or what Cincinnati did against him or continues to do against him. Like, after that Indy game, I think there was a collective realization around the league. You can't let that happen ever again. Limbo. So it's triple teams all year.
And now he playing, the scary thing, Q, he playing the run. Nowadays, that play against Chicago, where he was just decided. Like, no,
he's
you're
decided.
not getting that off here.
This is how good of a player he is. He has decided, okay, y'all not going to let me get these sacks anymore. Y'all have dedicated yourselves to not doing this. So you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to become the best run-stuffing edge rusher you've ever seen. And now y'all going to have to do something about that too, because he is out here just making incredible plays and run. Like, he is just like, yeah, all right.
Dodging. It's like he ultra instinct. He like Goku. Like,
when they scored that touchdown, and you knew that they were going to get that ball back, the Chicago Bears, and then the crowd started getting loud, we all knew what it was. We were like, well, Miles about to do some shit.
And you think about it. And the crazy part about this, Q, is like, and that's what I could respect about the Browns defense, because Jim Schwartz understands what kind of weapon of mass destruction he has. So he's like, instead of playing cover 3 and giving you 4 yards on first down, maybe it's something quick or maybe a run, he's like, no, I'm going to put my guys up here, and we want to not only we're not giving you 4. We're trying to get you a minus play. We're trying to be, you're going to be 2nd and 14. And then when the Browns get you at 2nd and 14, it's spooky season, because they had 3 corners that just play man-to-man coverage and just glue you down the field, and they challenge you to get 8 or 10 yards on third down. And that's why they lead the league in third downs. Third down, 3 and outs. It's crazy. It's just nuts.
Yeah, and it's just it's an insane combo that they could throw at you. It's insane what they could do with Myles Garrett there. And I think the last few weeks have just been pure evidence of that. Like, I understand that the sack numbers may not be there, but who knows? He might go off for a big one, and then like the sack numbers are all of a sudden there again. Like, the sack numbers are so cyclical, but what is not cyclical is his impact on that game. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they are so afraid of Myles at this point. He could not do a single thing, just exist and wear his jersey and stand in his spot, and he would be more impactful than 95% of guys who play that position. Like, that is how much he affects the offense, is just simply by existing. By existing.
I gotta throw you this analogy, because I think this is an analogy that a lot of people have been, we've been brainwashed into having the wrong argument. People get real passionate when you talk about who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan, right? And the thing that I've been saying for such a long period of time is, for me, as somebody growing up watching both of them, getting a chance to see both of them play, it's the fact that, it's almost, you can't refute that LeBron James is bigger, faster, stronger. He has all the numbers. He has the longevity. He'll have every stat, every record. It's hard to deny that. And if you ask me on the court, who would I take? I would probably take LeBron. However, this goes back to the conversation we talk about. Is it the numbers or is it impact? Michael Jordan's impact will never be touched because of just the cultural phenomenon. So it isn't, LeBron can have all the numbers, but just alone, Michael Jordan and what he did for Black culture, the game of basketball, sneakers, Gatorade, just by the fact that impact alone, that kids, he finished his last game for the Chicago Bulls in like 98. That means there's a whole generation that ain't never seen him play one game. But how is it, Quincy, that when you grow up, your kid, everybody in the hood automatically says, I want those shoes? How? They just know.
And another point that I want to get off on with Myles is, it's funny that you use that, because I'm about to use the opposite of that analogy. Because it reminds me of like the evolution of LeBron, where it was like, hey, for those first 7 years, you knew LeBron was good, but there were these things, right? These little things about LeBron that bugged you. It's like, it didn't seem like he always knew what to do in the clutch. It didn't seem like he always had the best plan there. It didn't seem like he always wanted to take over. And it felt like he didn't understand that he was LeBron. And then that second year in Miami happened, and you started to see LeBron become truly terrifying, because he realized he was LeBron. And Myles Garrett and this team has realized that about themselves. And what has been different about this team is that they understand the small moments that matter in a football game, right? They understand, we just got a big touchdown. Oh, we got to go 3 and out. Like, that's what Myles Garrett went on that field and knew, we gotta go 3 and not like as if the game was on the line. It takes teams a long time to understand stuff like that, where they'll go out there and mess around. We got 3 minutes left. We can let them get it. No. Myles Garrett was like, oh no, we gotta get them a 3 and out, because this. They felt the wave and they rode it. They were like, okay, we gotta ride this wave. So what does Myles do? He understands that. He treats that play as if it's the last play of the game. He gives it his all. Boom, TFL. pushes them back 16. That is what the best player on a great unit does, is understand, oh, we about to make a run. We made this defensive play. Okay, Swish just made a 2. Give me that ball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna splatter 3, right? I'm gonna get. They gonna call a timeout after this, basically, right? It's that. It's like I'm gonna make them call a timeout. And Myles Garrett getting that TFL at that moment was a ultimate. Y'all call it timeout. Like it's about to get real to y'all. And then you notice the Bears, such a young team. Justin Fields, a young player. The shit got real to him after that. Because now I saw the look on DJ Moore's face where he's like, man, here we go again. And then you see Justin Fields, his eyes start getting wide. Like, oh man, I'm behind the sticks. Miles is here. Like, you know, like
now you ain't stepping up like you used to. It's different. Like now it's, and it reminds you.
It was so weird watching that game because I'm like, man, the Bears are who the Browns were 10 years ago. Because how many times did we see the Browns in that moment where it's like, oh man, you playing against like the Patriots, or you playing against let's just use the Ravens, right? You playing against the Ravens, and you know, you got nice little, you feel like you might be able to beat the Ravens, and then one thing breaks their way, and then the next play, T Sizzle shows up when he ain't showed up all game, or Ray Lewis shows up when he ain't showed up all game. Yeah, or Ed Reed just smacks somebody on a run play and gets him back 2 yards, and you all of a sudden you remember, I'm playing against these dudes, right? And you see the other team start to crumble, and that's what happened with Justin Fields. Was he saw that TFL. He's like, oh, it's taking the 6. Who out there at corner? Denzel Ward?
You know what? I'm gonna throw this out there too, Q, because there was a couple plays that they made. When you playing on the phone, when you playing on the field with a guy like Myles Garrett, he gives you unrealistic, irrational confidence because you start to see him make plays, right? Like that. And do you see Alex Wright make a play like that on a 3rd down? You're like, whoa, all right, Alex, okay, where did that come from? You see a Cameron Mitchell who just touches the ankles of Fields, and he falls a half yard short. When you playing with one of the most dominant players, I remember playing on teams when I was in high school. I played on the #1 high school team in the country. And I remember guys being ahead of me that's going to big time schools. And I just was like, look, well, they letting y'all get that money off. I could get my money off too. Like I saw something, I'm pulling my best moves out. And it just seems like guys like JOK, it seems like they feeding off of that now. The JOK is not just a guy that's fast. JOK now seems to be a guy that can come up and get a sack in a big time opportunity and be in crucial plays. And now everyone's feeding off that level of intensity and the expectation that, hey, Myles Garrett get triple. I got to get home.
Yeah, and he understood in that moment. It means something if I get this TFL, because now, you know, when you got that great dude on your team, you like, our champion's here to play, right? Like, it's like we about to get 3. You right here.
When Steph hit you with that dagger 3, when it was Roracle, when Steph hit that dagger 3, bang, you'd be like, look, come on.
The Q has never got as loud for a Kyrie 3 as they did a LeBron dunk, because we all understood what it meant when LeBron's going, right? Like, it ain't got nothing to do with our connection to Kyrie or our love for Kyrie at that time. It's like, hey, we like Kyrie. But if LeBron get them dunks going, we know, this takeover time, right? And that's what Myles has added to his arsenal this year. I mean, we saw it the first game of the year. Biggest play of the Cincinnati game, Myles Garrett gets a sack. He did this against Tennessee. He did this so many times this year where the team just absolutely needed something. And he's like, I'm about to get me a bucket. 2 triple teams, he's doing this. And this is why I'm like, that's a franchise player. That is a franchise defensive player. And there's not that many true franchise. Like, Micah Parsons is a great defensive player. The Dallas Cowboys aren't built around Micah Parsons. No. They're built around Dak Prescott. TJ Watt's a good defensive player, but the Steelers aren't built around him. They're built around a unit, and he is the guy who benefits the most from that unit. The Browns are truly just built around Miles. Like if that is the best dude on the team, that is the dude that you look for when you need a play, it's Miles 95. That's the franchise player of this franchise. And hey, if there's a couple ways to look at it, I know some people be disappointed that it's not Deshaun. If I'm Deshaun, I'm like, all right, all I gotta do is be Joe Flacco. I could get me a ring. Like, you ain't gotta do too much, right? Like, it takes the pressure off of everybody else with somebody who is not only able to take that pressure, but so capable of carrying that pressure, like a Myles Garrett is. Like, think about it like this: Myles Garrett looks like he was born to play edge, like LeBron James looked like he was born to be on that wing. Like, that is the level of just prospect that Myles is and that he's been playing up to and he's lived up to. So many edge rushers will be drafted highly, hoping that they be Myles Garrett. It's funny when you think about it like that too, because you don't really think about Myles outside of the way that we think about him in Cleveland. But if you look at it outside, everybody, like, when they talk about the edge, they're like, man, can he be Myles?
That's why to me, if I look at it, he's the defensive player of the year. It's not even close. And I would say that when you look at it, if you're gonna take this approach on everything else, you can't say you're gonna try to switch it up with Myles Garrett. He's the best defensive player on the best defense, and they're playing with their offense that is they got some days you don't even know who's gonna play on offense, right? And that just goes to show you how dominant they are to be actually in contention to say they can win 12 football games. 12. That's crazy. I expect him to come out this week against the Houston Texans, and I think he'll get 2 sacks this week. I think you'll finally start to see, and a lot of people will come around because this game is on the road. I don't think the Browns can lose at home. It's just the fans. I've been challenging them for 2 years, and the fans, they go do their part, and it's one of the better home field advantages. So there is still a small hope that you can get a home playoff game. I would love to see that, especially with this defense. But people are going to really start getting on this bandwagon when you start to look at it from a perspective of them winning on the road against Houston and being a team that's 10-5 and possibly clinching this week.
Absolutely. But thank you, G, for coming on. Make sure you check G Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and also on his regular channel, G Bush 95. Well, not 95. What, G Bush 97? Is it
91? You could call me 95.
91.
I know you was thinking about dominant defensive ends, and Myles Garrett and G Bush was on your mind at the same time. So it's cool.
Oh yeah. They gonna be like, hey man, he was the Myles Garrett of the MAC. Like, they gonna hit me with one.
You almost made me choke. No, the Myles Garrett are back. Boy, listen. I was decent, man. I was so injury prone, bro. I almost had to get you a check back. It's like,
oh no. They paid you back at ACL surgery.
Oh man, listen, we milked them. I got I got them for all kind of surgeries. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and pay for that too. You know what I'm saying?
You probably got him one on the way out just to make sure. You know what I mean? Just make sure everything's straight.
Fifth gear game, I got everything cleaned up. I knew it was gonna be an uphill battle. Say, I got this old corpse right here. I need to get you. You need to get my back together too. Stop playing with me, man.
Like I'm just trying to make senior day. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to take that photo with my parents.
Hey man, you know what it is, man. Hey, man,
put it up on my wall and just tell people, hey dog, that was me.
Listen, that's all I need. Did G Bush really play? You shut your mouth. I did. I'm gonna go get me my little Letterman jacket too, so y'all can really shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, hey, I got a job now. I donate 5 to the program. Give me one of them jackets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm good enough on radio. Y'all can give me sideline passes.
Man,
you know what I mean?
This athlete, stop playing. I better be sidelined up. I need my joint laminated too. I want my joint laminated and it say barbershop on it. They're like, sir, stop. You're doing way too much.
You know, they ain't got that kind of, it's a regular pass at the college games.
Man, matter of fact, it might be paper. They might be like, you know how you want to be important. They just tell you to go on through. You like, but no, you need to see my stuff though?
Nah. It's a dude with a notebook at an entrance. That's what it is.
One of them loose leaf joints that you flip over like an old school scoreboard at the Y.
It's like a frat party. You gotta apply for the list on Facebook. Like,
gotta go on Black Planet. Go on Black Planet.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of G Bush on the show. Always ended in an interesting way. Y'all have a great day. G, thank you for coming on, man. Everybody else, peace.